Take it down. It violates HOA policy. Patricia jabs a finger at my flag. I don't move. It's the American flag. My father fought for it. It stays. Her face turns red. You don't make the rules here. I do. I meet her glare. You don't outrank federal law. She pulls out her phone. We'll see about that. I cross my arms. The flag snaps in the wind above us. Go ahead. I'll be right here when it backfires. It started as an ordinary Saturday morning. I stood on my porch, coffee in hand, admiring the fresh morning breeze as the American flag fluttered gently from the pole in my front yard. The sun hit it just right, lighting up the red, white, and blue. To me, it wasn't just fabric. It was a reminder of my late father's service and everything he stood for. Then came the shrill voice I'd come to dread. Daniel! I turned to see Patricia Reynolds, the HOA president, marching up the walkway with her clipboard like it was a weapon. Her sunglasses glinted and her lips were pressed so tight they could have cut glass. Good morning, Patricia, I said, already bracing myself. Don't good morning me, she snapped. We've been over this. Your flag violates HOA guidelines regarding exterior displays. I blinked. It's an American flag. Every veteran in this neighborhood has one. That's not the point, she said sharply. Our community policy allows seasonal flags only. Memorial Day, Independence Day, Veterans Day, those are acceptable. It's October. Take it down. I took a slow sip of coffee, more to buy time than anything else. With all due respect, Patricia, I'm not taking it down. My dad fought for that flag. It's staying. Her nostrils flared. Then I'll have no choice but to report you to the board for violation of HOA Code 3.7. Go ahead, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. Let's see how far you get. She stormed off, muttering something about rules being rules. I thought that was the end of it. It wasn't. 2 days later, I came home from work to find a bright orange notice taped to my front door. Immediate removal required, it read in bold. There was a fine of $250 and a threat of legal action if I didn't comply. I couldn't believe it. That night, I called my neighbor, Mark, who was a retired Marine. She fined me for flying the flag, I told him. Mark let out a low whistle. She's out of her mind. You know that violates the Freedom to Display the American Flag Act, right? Federal law trumps HOA nonsense. He was right. The more I thought about it, the angrier I got. So the next morning, I printed a copy of that law and taped it right next to her notice. By noon, Patricia was back. What is this? She demanded, waving the printout like it was offensive. It's the law, I said. You can't fine me for displaying the flag of my country. Her voice rose. You think you can disrespect the HOA? I'll have you removed from the community. I crossed my arms. You're welcome to try. That was when she did something unbelievable. She called the police. Within minutes, 2 officers pulled up in their cruiser. Patricia greeted them like she was expecting backup. Officers! This man is violating community regulations and refusing to comply with lawful orders. The taller officer turned to me. Sir, what's going on here? I handed him the paper. I'm flying an American flag. HOA says I can't. This is the federal law saying I can. The officer skimmed it, nodding. He's right, he said simply. You can't prohibit residents from displaying the flag. It's protected. Patricia's face turned crimson. That can't be true. I'm the HOA president. The second officer, a woman, raised an eyebrow. Ma'am, that doesn't give you the right to override federal law. But he's being defiant, Patricia snapped. The male officer sighed. Flying a flag isn't a crime, ma'am. Calling us over this could be considered a misuse of emergency services. Her confidence faltered. I didn't mean, he continued. Next time, please reserve 911 calls for actual emergencies. This isn't one. Neighbors began gathering on the sidewalks, watching the scene unfold. Someone even pulled out their phone to record. Patricia realized what was happening and tried to regain her composure. "Everyone just go back inside," she barked. "This is a private matter." Mark stepped forward, voice booming. "No, it's not. You've been harassing people for months, Patricia. It's about time someone stood up to you." The crowd murmured in agreement. The officers gave her a warning and left, shaking their heads. I half expected her to apologize, but instead she glared at me like I'd ruined her life. "This isn't over," she hissed before storming off. It was over, though, just not in the way she expected. The video of her meltdown spread fast. Someone posted it on the neighborhood Facebook group, and within hours the comments exploded. People who'd stayed quiet for years started sharing their own stories. Unfair fines, harassment, intimidation. By the next HOA meeting, the room was packed. Patricia sat at the front, looking smaller than usual, her clipboard clutched like a shield. When it was my turn to speak, I stood. "I'm not here to argue," and I said, "I just want fairness. This community should feel like home, not a battlefield." The crowd clapped. Even some of the board members nodded. One by one, residents voiced their frustration. Eventually, the board voted to remove Patricia as president, effective immediately. She didn't say a word as she got up and walked out, red-faced and shaking. The following morning, I walked out onto my porch again. The flag waved proudly in the wind, sunlight gleaming off the fabric. Mark joined me, holding a cup of coffee. "Nice view," he said. "Yeah," I replied with a smile. "Freedom looks pretty good." We both laughed. In the weeks that followed, the neighborhood felt lighter. People smiled more, waved when they passed. The board rewrote the HOA bylaws to ensure no one could ever face retaliation for something so patriotic again. Sometimes I still think about that day, the flashing lights, the tension, the way the truth finally broke through. It wasn't about a flag anymore. It was about standing up when someone tries to take away your right to be who you are. And every morning when I look at that flag, I remember, freedom doesn't stay free if you don't stand up for it. If this story moved, you don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful tales of resilience and justice. Your support allows us to keep delivering valuable insights and stories that inform and inspire people everywhere. Thank you for watching Work Story, and see you in the next one.